So we have major drama unfolding in Oakland where the FBI is on the scene with a subpoena, and it's just not looking good for Mayor Sheng Thao. This investigation touches on everything from shady political donations to a bar busted for sex trafficking. Yes, sex trafficking. And get this, there's even more issues involving the mayor's long-term partner, Andre Jones. The FBI is looking into his actions too. What did he do? Why are their calendars under scrutiny? We'll kick things off by looking at why the FBI is so interested in David Duong and his controversial dealings. Then we'll dive into the scandalous ties to sex trafficking and the dirty secrets involving Thao's partner. Let's get into it. The FBI has issued a subpoena requiring several Oakland staff members to provide records this week as a part of a federal grand jury investigation. The subpoena was first reported by our San Francisco Chronicle after City Attorney Barbara Parker sent a memo instructing city employees not to delete or destroy any records the FBI might need. But what exactly are they looking for? And why is this so critical? Federal prosecutors and FBI are seeking records of communications between city officials and California Waste Solutions, Oakland's recycling contractor. They're also interested in communications involving the founder of the company, David Duong, and his family members, Andy, Christina, Victor, and Michael. So what could these communications reveal? The implications can be massive, especially for the Oakland mayor. But remember, she said that she was not a part of the FBI investigation.
I want to hear your thoughts of, and that goes back to the FBI raid, that sudden raid that happened at your home early one morning. You denied any wrongdoing in your speech last week after the FBI raided your home. Have you met with the FBI since the raid?
You know, I can't speak on an ongoing investigation, but what I can say is I'm cooperating with the FBI 100%. And not just that, I am not the target. More so than that, you know, if I find any information that I can share, I'm going to be 100% transparent with the community.
How is that possible that she's not a target of this investigation, but her home was raided, her associates' homes were raided, and now city officials are being summoned to provide information? This doesn't make any sense. So speculation is surrounding this family that runs the California Waste Solutions. Andy is under investigation by Public Ethics Commission for allegedly using straw donors to funnel money to political candidates.
After opening a solid waste and recycling company called Vietnam Waste Solutions. Our story in 2015 featured Andy Duong, whose home on Viewcrest Court was raided earlier this morning. Over the years, Andy Duong has become a regular face in local, state, and national politics. He helped organize a trip to Vietnam last year that included local delegates, including Oakland Mayor Sheng Thao. Andy Duong's Instagram also shows him standing side by side with some of the country's most powerful politicians, including President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. During today's raid at Cal Waste Solutions' Oakland office, federal agents hauled out 2 carts stacked with boxes with Andy Duong's name written on labels.
The Duongs were prohibited from donating to political campaigns due to their business interests at the old Army base. But as you can see, this family donates a lot of money to political candidates. They gave Trump $300,000. And look, all these very important, powerful people, city officials getting paid a lot of money. Andy Duong is linked to Music Cafe, a bar busted in 2018 for selling ketamine and providing sex workers. What? Let's check this out. In this article right here, Andy Duong allegedly laundered donations to Oakland officials through Chinatown Karaoke Bar. So this bar was infiltrated by an undercover law enforcement in 2018. 4 men who walked in Music Cafe in Oakland Chinatown late one summer night in 2018 were looking for a wild party. A host ushered them into a private karaoke room where they settled into chairs around a table and TV. 20 young Asian women crowded into the room. Men picked 4 and partied with them. Apparently, one of them had a baggie of ketamine. Then they paid their female companions who laughed and sipped alcohol while the music blasted. Another one of the men purchased a dime bag of cocaine. The same men came back 3 more times during August and October of 2018, buying more drugs and eventually paying for a sex employee or a sex worker employed by Music Cafe to accompany them to Oakland's Marriott Hotel. The hosts of Music Cafe came to see the men as regulars, but they were actually cops. Bum, bum, bum. But here's the allegations that's between Andy Duong and this business. So in 2019, 1 year after Music Cafe was raided, Oakland's Public Ethics Commission and state investigators with the Fair Political Practice Commission began looking into allegations against members of the Duong family, the owners of California Waste Solutions, the city's curbside recycling contractor. The allegations claim that the Duongs had illegally funneled money to candidates for Oakland City Council. This is where we're talking about the straw donating situation. It seemed like Andy Duong was allegedly recruiting dozens of people to write checks to the campaigns of the candidates running for Oakland City Council. He later reimbursed these people with his own money or money from California Waste Solutions. There's a lot of people who benefited. Council members, Rebecca Kaplan, Sheng Thao, when she was a council member, and Dan Keb, each received thousands of dollars towards their 2016 and 2018 campaigns. Even more council members got money. And that's why the investigators believe that the money all came from Andy Duong, because they have looked at some bank statements from 2021 from many of these people saying that they did not have the adequate funds in his account to cover the costs for his contributions to Oakland's politicians. This guy right here made a large cash deposit just before or after writing his check for all these contributions. Now, the investigators claim that Andy Duong was closely associated with Music Cafe to a point where it's possible that Andy Duong may have been the real owner of Music Cafe. You know, the place where you can get drugs and prostitutes? Now, his name does not appear in any of the company records, but 3 years ago, investigators wrote in court documents that they were in possession of private messages where Andy Duong holds himself out as the proprietor of Music Cafe. So this is deep and some shady shit. This raises even more questions about the extent of the corruption. How deep does this go? The subpoena also includes requests for records related to Evolutionary Homes, a company that the Duongs helped establish in 2022, to sell shipping container homes as a solution to homelessness. Mario Warz, an Oakland businessman and political figure, is involved with Evolutionary Homes. Warz is currently facing felony charges for passing bad checks for campaign attack ads during the 2022 mayoral election. We talked about this in the last video. I'll show you a little bit about that right now.
Johnson says a couple of weeks before the November 2022 general election, this man, Mario Warz, a longtime customer, contracted him to print roughly 170,000 attack mailers targeting Oakland mayoral candidates Ignacio De La Fuente and Lauren Taylor. Johnson says the attack ads went out about 1 week before the election. He says Warz paid him about $31,000 for his service and gave him 3 checks to pay the U.S. Postal Service for the postage. After the mailers went out, all 3 checks bounced, totaling more than $53,000. Johnson says with interest, Warz now owes the U.S. government roughly $60,000.
The USPS put a postal stop on my business direct mail permit.
He says his permit remains suspended. The mailer says it's funded by Mario Warz and his independent expenditure, or IE, account called California Forward Now. We checked to see who donated money to the IE account, but it doesn't appear Warz filed any paperwork to identify the donors, which is required by campaign financing laws.
More corrupt behavior, and you're screwing over a small business owner in the process. The subpoena also requests documents concerning the mayoral election, including communications, mailers, advertisement, independent expenditures, and campaign contributions, because these records expose further corruption. The grand jury subpoena seeks information on Thao's long-term partner, Andre Jones, who works as an assistant chief for the State Bureau of Cannabis Control. Jones previously served as the chief of staff for Councilmember Rebecca Kaplan, where she worked with Thao. This is how they met. The subpoena requests Jones' appointment calendar from June 1st, 2022 to the present, along with Thao's. Why are Jones' activities under such scrutiny? Well, it looks like he is doing a little bit more than what Sheng Thao likes to admit. Andre Jones has a lot to do with the pay-for-play stuff that Sheng Thao tried to downplay in that interview last week. Let me show you what I'm talking about.
There was some talk, though, of your partner, Andre Jones. Is he involved in any kind of work with your administration at all?
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, he is my partner. He is his own person. And so with that being said, again, this is an ongoing investigation.
So your former chief of staff, Regina Webb, she came out publicly and said that the FBI questioned her about him.
They were promised board positions, and at the mouth of what they would always, Andre. You know, that was who they would say, Andre promised me this.
Webb claims Jones was controlling and calling the shots. She says Thao went along with him.
It's sad. He's making her do things, pushing her to do things that I don't believe she would do otherwise.
Had you heard that before she had said something about it?
So she was my chief of staff on the city council. And so with that being said, it's an ongoing investigation, and we can't say give out further information.
So she's lying to the public. That's why I don't understand why she even bothered to have this interview, knowing that the most important questions were not necessarily about how she's going to clean up Oakland. That's why she's getting recalled. She's not doing well as the mayor of Oakland. But the fact that she said that, oh, Andre Jones, he's his own person. He's not involved in my campaign. And even though it looks like Regina Webb was telling the truth, that she was questioned because now Andre Jones is being looked at. The way that Sheng Thao and Andre Jones met was when Sheng Thao began her career working for council member Rebecca Kaplan and quickly became Kaplan's chief of staff. This relationship and her work alongside Andre Jones have deeply intertwined Thao's personal and professional career with these figures. How does this background play into the current investigation? Well, there's a lot of dots to be connected. The FBI is also interested in records related to a former Oakland Army base, decommissioned in 1999 and undergoing development efforts for industrial and other uses. In October 2022, Councilmember Carol Fief proposed relocating unhoused residents to temporary shelters on the base, which was opposed by city staff due to pollution concerns. Thao supported Carol's plan, but it ultimately failed. Two recycling companies, including California Waste Solution, had plans to move operations to the base. The subpoena seeks documents and communications related to any emergency declarations on homelessness considered or approved by the council between January and December 2023. Oakland has a significant homeless problem and inefficient shelter beds or transitional homes. The prosecution and FBI also demand records to appointments of city officials and commissioners. The subpoena specifically mentions appointments to the Port of Oakland Board of Commissioners, the Department of Public Works, Planning and Building Development, the City Administrator's Office. The mayor appoints these individuals to these influential boards and commissions, which are then approved by the City Council. Could these appointments have been influenced by corruption and paid-for-play stuff? What do you think? Probably so. Mayor Sheng Thao claims that Andre Jones has nothing to do with her doing her mayoral stuff, nothing to do with her mayoral duties. He is his own person. The interesting thing is that I was able to receive this image, and I appreciate the person who sent this to me, that there was a Zoom call, and if you could look real deep, it's maybe not the best quality, but you just notice some names of officials. This one right here, Planning and Building, City of Oakland Planning Bureau, Oakland HCO, Mayor's Office. So this seemed like a Zoom call of city officials. What's that name right there in the bottom? Now, is it possible it could be some other person named Andre? It's possible. Now, if Webb was correct when she said that everything went through Andre was taking pay-for-play kickbacks, doing pay-for-play, that if you took care of him, he would make sure that when Sheng Thao became mayor, you would have a nice cushy job. Looks like this Andre is the same Andre. Not only that he did that for the transition for Sheng Thao to be mayor, now as mayor, he is still influential by hanging out, joining Zoom calls that's probably talking about city business. What does this all mean? Mayor Sheng Thao is screwed. When the feds are around, they are looking to take care of business. The Thao family is totally screwed. This seems like a lot of illegal political contributions and questions about her appointments. It's all of a pattern of unethical and potentially illegal behavior. Oakland deserves leaders who are honest, transparent, and focus on the well-being of the residents, not kickbacks and other type of nonsense, trying to figure out how to make as much money for the elites while everyone else is dealing with homelessness, high crime, and just a terrible way of living. We're going to dive more into Sheng Thao as well as this investigation deepens. There's a lot to talk about. I just want to talk about the latest with Sheng Thao and her dealings. Let me know what you guys think about this situation. What do you think about this story? Put in the comments below. Thank you for taking time to watch this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.